Trump's Oval Office press conference just went completely off the rails. He was supposed to announce that he was signing an executive order on paper straws, but then he started talking about how he wants no Americans to work from home. He says if you work from home, you're going to end up just spending your days golfing and not working. Curious, because Donald Trump has spent about 50% of his term so far in Mar-a-Lago vacationing and golfing. Here, play this clip.
There's a whole big, you can work from home. Nobody's going to work from home. They're going to be going out, they're going to play tennis, they're going to play golf, they're going to do a lot of things. They're not working. It's a rare person that's going to work. You might work 10% of the time, maybe 20%. I don't think you're going to work a lot more than that.
And I should say the other 50% of time Donald Trump has spent destroying our country each and every day. And by the way, just look at how he looked at the Super Bowl. I mean, the cognitive decline, the sundowning at Piers is right there for us all to see. Donald Trump then attacks Canada from the Oval Office and says, again, Canada needs to be our 51st state. And that's why he says that he's imposing 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum on Canada because he wants to make Canadians suffer. Here, play this clip.
As an example, Canada, if we make it in the United States, we don't need it to be made in Canada. We'll have the jobs. That's why Canada should be our 51st state. We'll bring back industries and we'll bring back our jobs and we'll make America industry great again. So essentially, we're putting on a 25% tariff without exception on all aluminum and all steel. And it's going to mean a lot of businesses are going to be opening in the United States.
Then he goes on to talk about abolishing the CFPB, which frankly he doesn't have the right to do. But he and Elon Musk have destroyed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So things that they protect, like, I don't know, avoiding medical debt being on your credit score or avoiding overdraft fees. And they've recovered about $21 billion for consumers. But here, Donald Trump says it's fake because Elizabeth Warren started it. She's a faker and she's Pocahontas. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, Pocahontas, the faker. That was set up to destroy people. She used that as her little personal agency to go around and destroy people. And she's a fake. Just like she said she was an Indian, and she wasn't an Indian. You have more Indian blood in you than she has.
Then Donald Trump is asked about the Palestinians and what are you going to do about them who don't leave? He goes, they're all going to leave. He says he's going to make them all leave Palestine. Here, play this clip.
But what about the Palestinians who just won't leave? Our king has spoken to many.
They're all going to leave when they have a place that's a better alternative. When they have a nice place that's safe, they're all going to leave. It's a hellhole right now.
But how are you so sure? Will the U.S. force them to leave?
You're going to see that they're all going to want to leave.
Then Donald Trump makes a threat jeopardizing the ceasefire deal that Biden negotiated, and also, I think, imperiling the lives of the hostages who were taken from Israel. Trump says that if every single hostage is not returned by Saturday at noon, he says he's going to unleash hell in Gaza. Here, play this clip.
As far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do. I mean, the one guy was laughing when a hostage, he thought his family was alive, found out the family was dead, and his captor, so to speak, started laughing because he thought it was so funny. This is a different group of people. No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it, but from myself Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
And then he's asked that question again, and here's what he says. Play it.
Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, it's going to be a different ballgame.
Mr. President, when you say all hell is going to break loose, are you speaking about retaliation from...
You'll find out, and they'll find out too. Hamas will find out what I mean.
Mr. President,
they're going to find out what I mean. These are sick people, and they'll find out what I mean Saturday at 12 o'clock.
But no involvement.
He then talks about taking over the Kennedy Center, and that he's going to give different entertainment now at the Kennedy Center because he says it's way too woke, and it was way too woke. Here, play this clip.
So we took over the Kennedy Center. We didn't like what they were showing and various other things. And I had a lot of the board members already, as you know, and we have some that will be replaced. But we have, I guess, a whole new group of people going in. I have Rick Grinnell, who's got some experience in that world. He's very good. Going to be handling it on a temporary basis. I think he'll do a great job, but we're going to get some great professionals. I'm going to be chairman of it, and we're going to make sure that it's good and it's not going to be woke. There's no more woke in this country. This woke has cost us a fortune and cost us our reputation, but the reputation's coming back very, very rapidly. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Then Donald Trump talks about the executive order he signed uniquely related to immigration of white South Africans. He said white South Africans should all be considered refugees and be brought to the United States of America. Obviously, probably at Elon Musk's request right there. But Donald Trump has revoked the temporary protected status for Latinos, including his supporters like the Venezuelans who are in Doral. They have to go back to Maduro and other dictators who they fled from. But the white South Africans, he wants to promote their immigration here into the United States. Here, play this clip.
A lot about South Africa in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's hosting the G20 summit this year. Are you planning to attend this, or are you skipping it and telling your cabinet to not?
Well, we'll see what happens, but the South African situation is very, very dangerous and very bad for a lot of people. There's tremendously bad things going on, including the confiscation of property, and worse, much worse than that. You know what I'm talking about. And we're not making any payment until we find out what's going on in South Africa. Yes.
Donald Trump is then asked about meeting with Putin, and Trump refuses to talk about it. Play this clip.
You're talking to Vladimir Putin. Are you trying to set up a meeting with him?
Well, I can't tell you what I'm talking about, but we are talking as a group also. I think he'd like to make a deal, but it takes two to tango.
And so, Danny, you can't give us any more clarity whether you personally have spoken to...
I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it. It's not going to help you to know. But we would like to get a deal done if possible, only because, in my case, save lives. You know, we're much further away. Remember, we have an ocean separating. They don't. Europe should be paying what we're paying. And Europe has done it more in the form of a loan than with us. We just give it. You know, Biden gives it because he's not a smart individual, not a very smart individual. We have people over there today who are making a deal that as we give money, we get minerals and we get oil and we get all sorts of things, because why are we doing this? And
so I just want to get this straight. Donald Trump will not talk about Putin or say anything negative about Putin, but Donald Trump continues to attack Canada. Here, Donald Trump is saying that Canada stole America's car industry. Play this clip.
it's a very big car industry. They stole it from us. They stole it because our people were asleep at the wheel.
Here, Donald Trump then says that the most recent election, the 2024 election, he says is rigged because Kamala, he claims, did not get even 75 million votes. He says that whole thing is rigged. She really didn't get 75. He's complaining about the current election, even though he won, and he says that it was rigged against him. Here, play this clip.
But still, Kamala Harris got 75 million votes in the country.
Well, if you believe the whole thing.
Yeah, okay. Let's just say
it is ridiculous.
that the election was as it was.
Excuse me.
Then he continues to whine about the 2020 election, which he says was rigged. This is what he's doing right now, right before the Oval Office that aired. This is what Brett Baer, play this clip.
Putin, do you squeeze him to get him to the table? I mean, how do you...
It would have, look, I say it all the time, this would have never happened if I were president. If the election weren't rigged, this would have never happened. And let's see whether or not Fox lets you put that in, okay? If the election weren't rigged, do you hear me, rigged? Let's see, I mean, this would have never happened. It wouldn't happen with Putin, and October 7th would have never happened either.
And again, you'll note before, for example, that Donald Trump said that he wouldn't discuss anything about his communications with Putin. But right before he went to the Oval Office, what aired on Fox is Donald Trump said about Ukraine that Ukraine may be Russian someday or may not. But he said they may be Russian. And he says, we have all this money. We're going to have to get our money from there, referring to Ukraine. Here, listen to what he says here. Here, play this clip.
I want to have our money secured because we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars. And, you know, they may make a deal. They may not make a deal. They may be Russian someday or they may not be Russian someday. But we're going to have all this money in there. And I say, I want it back. And I told them that I want the equivalent, like $500 billion worth of rare earth. And they've essentially agreed to do that. So at least we don't feel stupid. Otherwise, we're stupid. I said to them, we have to get something. We can't continue to pay this money, you know.
And so this is what he's been spending his time doing. I mean, dangerous, reckless. And this was his announcement on his order to an executive order saying no more paper straws. I don't know, in the federal government, I mean, he can't force people not to use paper straws privately, but this is what he's spending his time doing, folks. And again, prices continue to go up. He has not secured peace in Ukraine in 24 hours. Housing is not more affordable. And he continues to destroy our government from within, destroy our alliances abroad, a wrecking ball to the United States of America. In Canada, in Europe, they're boycotting America, not traveling to America. Trump has already turned America into a pariah country. We're like North Korea, basically, is how the world views us because of Donald Trump's tyranny. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. You'll see right there, we're so close to 4 million subscribers, so please subscribe if you can.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.